So now you should be pretty good at making your ball of Qi. So we're going to start by making another one. Get a nice rub, a couple claps, and make your ball. Should be easy by now. And this time we want to take this ball and we really want to turn it into a bubble. So make it nice and light between your hands. And now we want to make the bubble stick to the inside of each hand. And like a cell dividing, we're going to pull the bubble into two bubbles. Hold each bubble in your hand. You should feel that same sensation of Qi in your hands as when your hands were facing one another. It's almost like one of those little science museum lightning balls with the little lightning going inside of it. You want to feel it bouncing up and down inside of each ball. And now you have these bubbles that are nice and light. So turn your hands over on top of your bubbles and feel how they're lighter than air. Now float your bubbles down and place them by your hips. So your hands should be there resting. They shouldn't be held tight with your wrists stiff. They should be nice and loose, floating on those bubbles. Take a moment to feel that by relaxing your arms and letting your hands rest on the bubbles. Now we're going to do the opening movement from the Tai Chi form. It's very easy to do once you have your bubbles. All you do is send a waterfall of weight inside your body, down your spine, into your feet so that the weight pours down into the earth. This will make your bubbles nice and light, and they float up and out, away from your body. When they float up to shoulder height, you want to feel them resting there with the elbows relaxed. Now relax your elbows even more so that they bend, and your bubbles will float in towards your shoulders until they're resting there. So they should still be resting on those light bubbles. Now you relax your elbows again, let your bubbles float down. Your elbows will open, your hands will float down, right back to where they started, beside your hips. Let's try that again. Remember to start with your waterfall through your body into your feet. As the weight goes down, the bubbles float up. When they get to shoulder height, let the elbows relax, and your bubbles will float in close to you. Here, let your shoulders and elbows relax and rest on your bubbles. Then release your elbows. Those bubbles float down right back to your hips. Let's try this movement through, flowing through it. Each time using that waterfall of weight going down to float the bubbles up. Let your weight fall down. Let your bubbles be light. Now relax your elbows, the bubbles float in. Relax your shoulders, elbows, and arms, and your bubbles float down. Finish with your hands on your bubbles. So now we have an exercise that I like to call dumping the bottles on the head, because that's what it looks like. It's a very calming movement, and like the previous exercise, it's very good for opening up and relaxing the wrist, elbow, and shoulder joints. This particular exercise is also good at lengthening the spine, stretching out the belly, and really engaging your roots and that heaven to earth connection that we talked about. It starts with our basic Qigong posture, standing there with the palms kind of facing in, the arms on the side of the body. It's almost like you're holding a big beach ball here in your hands. Like the previous movement, we want to start with a waterfall of weight going down into our feet. Sending this weight down allows the hands to float up and out to the side without any effort. We'll pause here with the hands about as high as the shoulders. At this point, the palms should be facing forwards. You want to make sure that your arms don't get too far behind you because it won't feel comfortable. They want to be a little bit out in front of your body. From this point, we have to send a second waterfall of weight down into our feet. This helps to get our hands up over our heads. Here, you want to make sure that your shoulders, elbows, and hands are relaxed. If your shoulders are up by your ears, you know that they are tense, so relax them. Now that we've made it to this spot, we're going to press from our roots to our hands, and we're going to lengthen out through our center and through our spine. This isn't a big press like this because the shoulders will come up. It's more a reach outwards in both directions from your belly button. It's nice to take a big deep breath in here too. Next step is to release the hands, let them turn over, and now they're going to float down right in front of your body. But they're going to float down as if they're floating through maple syrup. Smooth and slow and gooey. And you'll notice as my hands are traveling down, it's like my spine gets a little bit longer and I get a little bit taller. The hands will then circle back out to the sides and you're right back where you began. Let's do that again. The weight sinks down into the feet. The hands travel up and out to the sides. When they get to your shoulder height, send another waterfall of weight down to get them up and over your head. From here, take a big breath in and press from your hands to your feet, reaching out from your belly button. Then release the hands, let them turn over to face the ground, and let them float down through maple syrup as your spine gets nice and tall. Once again, send a waterfall into your feet, the hands move up. Another waterfall to get under your hands. Expand from your center. Release, let your hands turn over. Fall through maple syrup. Let's continue onwards. So you'll notice that this movement is very calming. And up here, that it also resembles someone pouring bottles on their head.